Action, Terry. We're ready to go here at War Memorial Park for the start of the third quarter. There's the ball in the air. Players going
down a bit, mate.
Okay, players going hard there, and the umpire's called for another ball up.
Poor Terry's going to go deaf. He is.
Goes a kick forward by Kahal Kaur. They get it to O'Brien. Nice hands by O'Brien there, but it's intercepted by we don't know who. As we get it to half forward, Greensborough defending well there. They tie it all up, and the umpire's call for another ball up.
So what's on the chew there, Walshy? You got a bit of sauce on your fingers, mate.
We've run out of time here. I haven't had time to eat my pie at half time. So
there it is.
So you, Lee.
McClellan and O'Brien go at it. Ball's one out there to Fowler. He gets tackled up amongst a bunch of the McLeod contingent there. It's going to be thrown up, so been going just under a minute here in this third quarter with Greensborough leading by 9 points here. So thrown up. Harris gets amongst it here. Bianchi, was it not? Oh, hang on a sec. He's looked like it may not have been far enough. The players were a bit so-so. Umpire late on the whistle there, and Bianchin is going to line up here, and he's got a bit of an awkward kicking style, and it's definitely an awkward kick. Nearly fell into the arms of O'Brien, puts it on the boot, and that's an oof, out on the full. So Terry, I hope that one was what you taught him. Terry calls for the screwdriver. Greg delivers. So it is Schmidt, with a haircut similar to Malcolm McLeod, bringing it back in. That kick's just going to go out 30 metres. Andrew for McLeod of the John variety couldn't pick it up. Long gets amongst it, kicks in the O'Brien direction, pushes his player forward under the ball. Schmidt handballs to Malikan. Harris throws it on the right boot, and it just goes through there for a point. So McLeod, the first ones to hit the scoreboard here in this third quarter. They go to 5-7-37. Trailing Greensborough 7-3-45. Walshy just tidying his hands up there on the grass, and kick to himself there was the number 11 Griffiths. Looked for one of his teammates, but it went as far as Malikan. Steed there, taken without the ball by Adams, and he's won a free kick. So Steed for Greensborough. In the Greensborough defence here, signalling his players to the far side of the ground. Finds a teammate there in McQuilkin. Throws it on the left. He's looking for Cunningham. In front of him was Sievers. Couldn't hold on to it. Nankervis tries to pick it up but couldn't. McCullum there gets a kick forward. He's got Parks. This boy's quick. He gets tackled there to the ground by Malikan, doing a lot of leg work. And it's going to be thrown up just in front of the scoreboard, where Greensborough are currently leading by 8 points.
Okay, there's a ball up there right in front of the, on the far side of the ground, front of the scoreboard. McLeod defending desperately here. Comes the ground level. Oh, Greensborough guys going in hard there. Oh, it's bloody terrible conditions here. Players been thrown all over the place here. Play goes on, and eventually the umpire blows that whistle, calls for another ball up. Okay, umpire throws the ball in the air. The big fella's McClellan in the ruck, has a fresh air shot at it. It comes bowling out of defence by McLeod there, but it's intercepted by Greensborough. The kick is smothered. Another errant kick goes into the air there. Very hard to pick up on players here as they get covered in mud over their numbers. Eventually,
it's a free kick won by Grubb there, and Curvis might have interfered with him incorrectly. So Grubb for Greensborough lining up to kick their 8th goal, and just while he's going through his motions, we've got around the grounds here. Bundoora 5-11-41, trailing Northcote Park 5-17-47. Bundoora had a bad few weeks on the track. Hang on, that was last week. Sorry, let's get some updated scores from this week.
And the ball's in the goal square, only inches out from the goal line. The umpire's called for another ball up.
All right, here we go. Northcote Park 5-3-33, leading Montmorency 3-6-24. Ball's thrown up and punched over there by Leggett for McLeod. And so other games at half-time, Eltham 1-4-10 trailing Bundoora 5-4-34. Whittlesea are trailing Heidelberg 14-46. And at just the quarter time score there at Lower Plenty in West Preston was Lower Plenty leading by 10 points. Back at the footy now, it is Anderson tackled, and the umpire will throw it up just on the wing here inside the centre square in front of us.
Okay, the ball's in the air there. Lauren McClellan go at it. Melican rucks up the Greensboro player, and the umpire calls for another ball up. We've got Kane Shaw picking up Josh Riddle now, two star players for their respective sides. As Greensboro work the ball forward, it's kicked forward by Grubb, defended by the McLeod defenders, and it comes off Grubb's hands and over the line and out of bounds. Half forward flank, the end to which Greensboro are kicking. Greensboro going right of screen, the pavilion end. McLeod left of screen. We'll call it the Greensboro Township end. Okay, all players in hard there. Eventually John Andrew gets a handball out to his partner in crime in Melican. Melican is depossessed, picked up by Dave Adams there, and his left foot kick goes forward, but only as far as going over the line and out of bounds.
Anderson, Greg, here we go.
We've
Look,
got the left
in front
foot
of
man, Anderson. He's right in front of us here, and he's kicked it right into the hands of O'Brien as he intercepted and got the ball down to half forward for McLeod. All players in hard there. The ball's going absolutely nowhere as they fight their way through the mud there. The man they called Hammer got a kick there, but only as far as the Greensboro defender was marked at halfback. Brings the ball up towards the wing position. In front there was, it was beautifully intercepted there by Steed. He's got the ball up to half forward, and there's a nice saving mark from McLeod taken by Richie Andrew.
So he's won the ball here, and look at this. Ruckman for Greensboro Steed couldn't get his hands on it. Barnett there kicks it back forward. Nankervis, man in front, couldn't hold on to it. Knocks it forward. Forster picks up. Handballs. There it is. It is McCullum. Couldn't get his hands in it. Long in and amongst it there for McLeod. Chip kick forward by McLeod. Adams picks up the ball. Rocks on. Throws it on his boot. He's got Yarwood at full forward. This kid's got a bit of pace. Look at him. Probably should have tried to pick it up. Socket it off the ground. Schmidt. Handballs over. Clearing kick here has gone to Steed. He couldn't hold on to it. Adams couldn't hold on to it again. Steed struggling to pick it up. Ball's like a bar of soap here. Long, have a look at him, can't pick it up. Parks throws himself over the ball, taps it forward. Richie Andrew from McLeod kicks it forward. That's smothered. It is with McClellan for Greensboro, centre half forward, and a bit of a small break in play here as Sievers takes the mark for McLeod. Turns around, kicks the ball in the O'Brien direction. He can't pick it up. That was Mitch Anderson there for Greensboro, and he's just found Hurley, brother of Michael, looking out to the far wing. He's got Yarwood 2-on-1 there, disposed of the ball. Greensboro have won a free kick there, and it looks like that
free kick to Greensboro on the outer side there, or the Pine Tree side. They get the ball to half forward. It's well defended by McLeod. Might have been Hurley on that occasion. The ball is, we're just not too sure where the ball is. It's been handballed this way and that way by Greensboro. Then they get a kick forward up to a dangerous spot in the forward pocket, and there is a magnificent mark taken by a Greensboro player
Cunningham,
there.
that is.
Cunningham. I keep wanting to call him Richie, but we can't call him Richie Cunningham. We'll just call him Cunningham. And he's marked here 20 metres out from goal on a very tight angle, right in front of the pavilion here.
Bianchin for McLeod, just very, very slow trot off. Ankle problems possibly. He's moving, but he's not moving freely. So Cunningham coming in, runs past the scoreboard, and that one hasn't gone through. So Greensboro 7-5-47 lead McLeod by 10 points. They are 5 goals 7-37 here. So Long and Leggett, there you go. Reason Leggett went off there was just needed a bit of tape round. He's got a nice headband round his Mornay Morkel. So Sievers is going to go to the man we were just speaking about in Leggett, but it only went as far as Shaw. Knocked it forward. Andrew for McLeod. Kicks, and that nearly would have been a deliberate out of bounds on the full there, but that just went as far as Fowler. Ball's ended up back there looking for McClellan, the ruckman. Back to Andrew of McLeod. Handballs off to O'Brien. Couldn't get boot to ball. Adams in and amongst it again. Tries to get a little tap off to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to move it forward. There it was again, Fowler. He's had plenty of it today.
And the boys go in hard there, and if you think the conditions were bad in the first half, well, it's getting worse here as the rain starts to tumble down, but McLeod get it to the centre of the ground. Kahakal took a nice mark there. He got the ball up to a half forward, but it's intercepted by the Greensboro defenders.
So that is Schmidt, and Wilson's got the ball. Schmidt's got the long hair there, Walshy.
The man they call Schmidt.
He's the one with the ball.
He's got the Mulligan look-alike hairdo. He's moved it to the outer side to his teammate there, who belts the ball up with a big tumbling punt up past the coach's box for Greensboro. Greensboro moving the ball nicely here. They get the ball up to a dangerous spot in front of goal. McLeod trying to defend here with a tumbling kick out of defence. It goes out to when might have been Dave Adams on that occasion. Then Ryan Harris is in hard there for McLeod, and the umpire
throwing the ball there, Walshy.
He said incorrect disposal.
So there it is, Steed looking for his teammate there in Riddle, I believe it was. Sliding on his knees to pick it up was Joel Kidd. Ducks under the ball, picks it up again, handballs over, no one in particular. Gunn tackles Nankervis to the ground there, I think that is, or is that Adams? Sorry, that is Adams.
Might be Adams.
It is Adams, and
the
he's
human fire hydrant came in there. And
so now, where do you get the human fire hydrant from?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he drinks beer, so I don't want to call him the beer keg on legs. He's more like a stocky fire hydrant. Those iron fire hydrants you see in the inner suburbs of Melbourne.
And that was your mate Fowler there, Walshy. He's kicked it out on the full.
Kicked it out on the full.
Andrew.
No disrespect to Connolly, he's been a great footballer for many years for the Greensboro side, and just drives their stocky legs on and on.
So I've been going about 11-12 minutes here in this third quarter. Brian May playing ball boy there. He's got the beanie on, but it's more like a top hat with the way it's sitting on his head. It is with Adams. Look at that, attempted barrel, doesn't go the way he likes it. Harris throws himself at the ball there up against Anderson for Greensboro, and the ball's going to be thrown up there. Just about 60 metres out on the half-forward flank, leaning towards McLeod's end. Ball tapped down there by McClellan. He gets it off. Terrible kick there by the Greensboro player, but not bad in conditions. Martin Sells attempts to sell a bit of candy, but doesn't. And Chris Clark ends up with the ball being tackled by Bianchin there for the McLeod Kangaroos.
A lot of argy-bargy going on between the players here. The human fire hydrant gets it out, but only as far as Leggett. He tumbles the kick down to half forward. It's picked up by O'Brien. He has a shot at the attempt to kick the ball. He's trying so hard there, O'Brien, but eventually umpire just calls for another ball up. The rain's tumbling down. The conditions are just absolutely miserable here at Greensboro War Memorial Park. Ball at half forward for Greensboro. Umpire calls for another ball up. Now Greensboro, I think
the scoreboard hasn't changed. They're still 10 points up. Look at McLennan there going one-on-one against Leggett. On the bottom of the pack are two blokes that look like they have enjoyed the conditions today, being Melican for McLeod and Gunn for Greensboro. Ball's thrown up again. McClellan gets it as far as Melican. He couldn't pick it up cleanly. Hamish Painter goes to soccer off the ground. Can't get his boot to ball, and it's going to be thrown up about 10 metres away from where it was previously. Back up again quickly. McClellan, Painter, boot to ball quickly. O'Brien tackles a player down there. Painter again getting a lot of kicks here that aren't going much distance. Someone's kicked it out the bottom of the pack, and it's gone through for a point.
Yeah, there's a good attempt on a kick at goal by McLeod there, but just didn't get the result they wanted. It's just missed to the near side, and it's through for behind 1 point. Brings the difference now to 9 points as Greensboro bring the ball back into play out to the pine tree side of the oval. It's picked up by we don't know who. Players going in hard there. Numbers are very much obscured at this stage, and the umpire's call for another ball up. Half forward flank, outer side of the ground. Okay, as Greensboro try to work the ball forward, but it's only as far as it. Well, there's a free kick actually being picked out to McLeod.
So it's Joel Kidds won the free kick there. Kicks it over and goes as far as Steed. He couldn't hold on to it, but beats Henkel for McLeod in a one-on-one. Turns around, Shaw attempts to punch, can't get his hand to ball. Nankervis in there amongst it, can't pick it up. Greensborough trying to push it forward. Ball's one there, and no, it's just going to be thrown up again. And I'd say we're sitting at about 43 ball up so far at this part of the game. So Greensborough 7-5-47, McLeod 5-8-38.
Okay, it's the ball's on the outer wing there in front of the pine trees. Oh, it's this rugby scrum after rugby scrum. The umpire runs in and says, "Give it to me, boys," and we'll throw it in the air. Up the big men go at it. There was cracker in the ruck there for Greensborough. It's been worked forward by McLeod through a nice kick there. That brings it down to half forward flank area for McLeod, and over the line and out of bounds. Could not possibly pick up who kicked the ball. We'd only be guessing. Okay, ball's going to be thrown back into play here. Okay, there's a kick out of defence by Greensborough to get the ball to the true wing position over in front of the pine trees. Eventually, McLeod get it forward about 10 metres. The umpire gets excited about something. Gets excited because we'll have about the 49th ball up for the day. Oh,
there we go, Walshy. How's that? 16 minutes gone. Cracker at it with Leggett. And look, players are just surrounding themselves in this contest. I was chatting with a few supporters from both teams at half times, and the suggestion was that maybe not everyone needs to go into the ball here. A couple should hang back, and especially on a day like today, because it is a bit of a SH1T fight out there. And have a look at this. White for McLeod tries to get a clearing kick forward, can't. Sock it off the ground and just goes over the boundary line again, and McLeod have edged it about 30 metres closer to their goal.
Yes, so it's half forward flank area for McLeod, the end of which they're kicking, favoured by a very strong breeze, but it's only when you see the occasional kick that you'll see it being impacted by the breeze here today, because they're just scramble kicks. Now there's some interference there as a McLeod player went to mark. It looks like it might be Richard Andrew. He's kicked into the bound of the mark. Now the umpire, it's a nice decision here in favour of McLeod. The umpire's ruled that you've gone over the mark, and it's a 50-metre penalty.
Now this you can put this one down in the scorebook.
Oh, well, I put one down in the scorebook in the first quarter, and we didn't get the result, did we, Lee, that we'd hoped for? So until this goes through for a goal, we will not be calling any
McLeod
gimmies.
Back within 3 points.
But he's popping through.
Kicks
Richard Andrew. So game on. 3 points the difference here at War Memorial Park. McLeod get their sixth. They go to 6 goals. Looks like it might be 6-8. Oh, hard to even see the score. What do we read? Is it 6-8 over there, Lee?
No, it is 6-8-44. Yeah. McLeod trailing Greensborough 7-5-47. Just a couple of quick stats there from Jeff Sayers that the inside 50s are about 6 apiece, and McLeod are just winning around the stoppages at this point though, so it's Cracker and Long back at it. Parks in there for Greensborough. Handballs over the top, probably into Jason Rogers, I believe it was. And it's going to be thrown up again. It was Rogers on the bottom of that pack. Look at Long. Loves these conditions on a day like today. And on the bottom of the pack there was Lachlan McQuilkin for Greensborough here. As have a look at Woodhams.
Off.
And that's how you should exit the ground when it's your time for a break. So he's released Adams. Long, doing a bit of his own crumb work. Can't get boot to ball. Handballs over to Wacko Jacko Bianchin. He doesn't do anything with it. Greensborough here trying to clear the ball but cannot. They do get a clearing kick in the end, and it just goes as far as Clark for Greensborough. In there amongst it was Steed, I believe, also, and it's going to be thrown up directly opposite us, about 100 metres away on the other side of the ground.
And the ball being thrown in the air in front of the big pine trees.
And the ball's being thrown in the air again. There we go, Terry. I think that's only 5 today.
I reckon we'll stop. We'll just say the ball's been thrown. It's thrown vertically upwards.
Well, there's no need to repeat.
Okay.
I think
ball
that's
gets
it.
the half forward for Greensborough. They work it around nice. There's a nice tumble kick forward now up to their forward pocket. The ball's bouncing at ground level. Opportunity for Greensborough to pick it up. but the ball's eventually seen over the line and out of bounds, right in front of the crowd, in front of the Greensboro Pavilion. And it is frightfully cold and windy.
It is freezing here
God.
today. That wind is not making it any easier. Harris gets a clearing kick forward. Kidd tries to push his man. Actually, that was Henkel tries to push his man under the ball. Look at Malikan, hands and knees out to Bianchin, kicking out in towards our direction. There's Kidd. He was beaten to the ball there by Griffiths, but sliding in, just getting a little hop and a step up was Sievers. Kicks over to O'Brien, and that just goes straight into the arms of Mitch Anderson for Greensboro. This guy's got a nice left foot. Look at that drop punt, not too good that time, into the man on the mark again. I think he's done that twice to O'Brien so far. Have a look at Painter, boot on ball. This is going to Anderson again. White can't pick it up for McLeod. White on hands and knees, gets boot to ball. It's cleared out here. Have a look at the Greensboro play there, tackled well by O'Brien. That was Rogers. O'Brien picked it up again. He's been involved in about 15 plays here.
Yep.
And Drew Wilson for Greensboro takes the mark, getting deeper and deeper into the McLeod forward line.
Okay, Wilson brings it up to the wing position. There's a nice mark there by the young fella in Kidd. Kidd flexes his muscles and goes to the centre half forward position. There's a punch away by Greensboro. In there was O'Brien. Then there's a snap by John Andrews. He's got the ball up in front of goals. Players going out, and eventually it's gone through for a behind. Further point to McLeod. Edges them just that much closer.
2 points the difference now. 7-5-47 to 6-9-45. Harris just couldn't quite get boot to ball there. Moving up the ground, trying to take the mark for Greensboro was Cracker. He couldn't get his hands on it. Kick goes over the top. It's Clark, one-on-one with Andrew. Runs that hard at the ball, throws it on the boot. Have a look at this. He's got McCullum, got a bit of space. He's got a couple of steps up on Nankervis. He's tackled, slings him round. There it is, Shaw versus the number 8 in Grubb. Shaw wins that contest, boots it straight back down the line. Deliberate were the cries of the Greensboro supporters, but it's going to be thrown in here, and say we'd be into time on now. I might just get a quick time check, Walshy.
Time check.
No, I can do that. There
Okay.
are about 22 minutes here. So Cracker gets his hand to it. It falls to the bottom of the pack. Little edge out towards Greensboro's way there, but doesn't go too far. Walshy needs a hot water bottle. He's awesome thermals on. He's a bit nippy, and I'll tell you what, I'm not too far behind him. Goes back up. Have a look at Cracker. That left hand just doing a lot of work today with his right hand, just feeding off Chris Long's chest, trying to prevent him from getting to the contest.
Okay, here we go. Another ball up on the far side in front of the pine trees as the siren blows for three-quarter time. And there's not much in it. There's just two
There's
little
2
points.
points. There we go. Greensboro 7-5-47. Leading McLeod 6-9-45. This is going to come down to a cracking last quarter here at Greensboro War Memorial Park for the Derek Shaw Cup.
Derek, you can have it.
Puts the ball up, puts his whistle in his mouth, and bang, there we go. Fourth quarter has started. Jono the water boy doing a great job today. Gun for Greensboro, edges it forward. Can't see as Jono was scratching his rear end. Nankervis was at it there, and Hurley was the one ended up tackling the number 8 there, which is Josh Grubb for Greensboro. Adams was the third man up, cleared it forward. Grubb won the ball, tries to break free of the tackle, no avail, and has been penalised for holding the throwing the ball. So it's with the skipper of McLeod in Shaw. Assessing his options, he's going to be called play on soon. There we go. Sells a bit of candy. Gains about 10 metres and then kicks in the Woodham's direction. He couldn't get his hands on it. Malikan, front and centre, chips over the top. Schmidt there, on hands and knees, handballs forward. Socket back into McLeod direction by O'Brien, and there we go. It's going to be thrown in, over there in front of the Greensboro trainers contingent.
Okay, the ball to be thrown back into play.
Again.
True centre wing, yes, back it comes into play. True centre wing position on the front of the pine trees. A big punch away there by McLeod. They only get it 5 metres further forward, but then intercepted by Greensboro. The kicker smothered there, and it's over the line and out of bounds.
So Terry, are you keeping counts on the repetitions today?
Right. Now, on this occasion, the ball
frozen.
the ball is flicked back in on this occasion. And there's a chance for McLeod. They go forward there. Through might have been long on that occasion. They're looking for Kahal Kaur up at half forward there. Greensborough defend very nicely, and the big fella in McClellan is marked. Handballs to his teammate who tumbles a punt kick down over the centre wing position. In the way is McLeod player there, and he's taken high. May have been O'Brien, is it, on that occasion?
No, O'Brien's down the other end of the ground.
Can't be O'Brien.
Sure.
Been
amongst the best today.
Yeah, Captain Kane, he always does well, that man. Very good player. He get it up to the centre wing position where there's another ball up. Okay, the big men go at it. Comes down to ground level. There's a kick forward by McLeod to, I don't know who's taken, perhaps a little high. The umpire will have none of that and we'll call for another ball up.
I don't think we're going to see much play over this side of the ground. Greensborough will try to control it. They like playing that side of the ground, and McClellan couldn't even get his hands on it there. Throwing himself in amongst it was Malikan again. He's very easy to pick out because he's got a similar look to Tom Hanks in Castaway there. Doesn't rate shaving his head or his beard again. So Long and McClellan at it again. Malikan tries to win the ball forward. So was Gunn in there. Long doing a bit of his own crumb work. Harris, here it is. Malikan gets a handball forward. Henkel tries to kick over the top. Sorry, that was Woodhams for McLeod. Umpires pulled out a free kick, and the Greensborough contingent there seemed very happy with that, with a light jeer. So here it is. Parks sells a bit of candy, doesn't get his best boot to ball. Look at Woodhams with a bit of World Cup stuff there. Goes as far as Wilson. He kicks it back in that direction there. Flying high. Oh, have a look at that. That was Woodhams, I think, again. No, it is Parks. Sorry, I'm getting my number ones mixed up. So Malikan threw himself pretty hard at that contest, but Samuel Parks of Greensborough won the free kick there, Walshy. He's kicked down to Richie Andrew.
He's got it down to Andrew from McLeod, who just couldn't quite hold on long enough. There's players going in hard there, and half forward for Greensborough. Greensborough now getting possession of the ball. Now the umpires called an advantage to Greensborough, and they're getting the ball up to a dangerous position in front of goal. There's a errant kick there, which has just found its way out towards the boundary line on the forward pocket for Greensborough, and it's over the line and out of bounds. So the umpire about to bring the ball back into play as the players gather around here. Greensborough got their nose in front, and there's the ball come back into play. Comes to ground level, players going in hard there, and we've got another ball up. Okay, the big men go at it. Comes to ground level. Can't quite see who's got it there. Could be Greensborough, who knows? Perhaps
Riddles.
No one's got it now. There, it looks like someone's taken high here.
Riddle.
Josh Riddle, experienced player for Greensborough, has got the free kick. He's 25 metres out from goal on a slight angle, and this kick, if he gets it, will make it very, very difficult for McLeod to get their nose back in front in this game. It's just a 1 point lead, 2 point lead to Greensborough. Riddle comes in, taking his time. Looks good off the boot. He's happy, his teammates are happy, and it is a goal to Greensborough. And they stretch out the lead to an 8 point lead.
So it's 8-5, 53 to 6-9, 45. Greensborough, as Walshy said, leading by 8 points. We've gone 5.5 minutes here in this final quarter. This 8 point lead could be very vital at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Not much scoring there.
Yeah, it is decisive, I feel now, Lee. McLeod will have to get a couple of good shots on goal here to get their nose back in front.
So Long wins it down, goes as far as Harris. He's tackled up there by McClellan and Parks. Umpire throws it up again. McClellan and Long go at it again. Nice fist forward by Long. Travis White there couldn't get boot to ball. Parks on the bottom, handball out to Barnett. That was Barnett. Just mixing it up amongst myself here. Look at Kaur bustling through. Said the other day he plays footy because he likes the contest. Loves the challenge of someone else thinking they can beat him when he knows he can beat them. Back over there it is Clark and Andrew one-on-one. Kaur gives a nice little shove off the ball and it runs over the boundary line. Going to be thrown in just to the left of the Greensborough coach's box there. And we've been going just over 6 minutes here in this final quarter.
Okay, the ball coming back into play now. McClellan there. Okay, ball comes to ground level, and there has been a high, taken high as is the player from
Henkel.
Josh Henkel from McLeod. He gets a nice tumbling kick up to half forward. Greensboro player, the big fella McClellan, couldn't hold on to the ball there. It's come to ground level, and we've got another ball up. And it's getting colder and colder. And
It is, isn't it? Look at the third man up there, Adams. Not successful. Painter gets boot to ball. Throws himself at it again. White. Painter kicks forward. Schmidt can't pick it up. Pushed out of it there was Long. He's still in the contest though. And the umpire's going to throw it up. We're about 45 metres out from the McLeod scoring end here. This is a surrounded pack of about 18 players, and a free kick's been won and paid to Chris Long. So I tell you what, I've just noticed something about Chris Long. He's usually one sock up, one sock down, but on a day like today, it is very hard to tell what he's got on the lower half of his body. Barrels it in. Wilson couldn't mark it for Greensboro. Players just throwing themselves at the ball. Very hard to see who's got it. McLeod looking for a cheeky soccer off the ground here. Umpire will throw it up in the goal square there.
oh, it's a battle of the Warriors here today. Full marks to players from both sides have gone in hard and played the game very fairly. They're playing for the Derek Shaw Cup here today. Currently being held by McLeod. Greensboro got their nose in front.
And have a look at Mickey Smith in the background there. He was calling for holding the ball there. He wanted it. He wanted it.
Another ball up in the teeth of goal for McLeod. There it goes. Up go the men, and it's punched through by McLellan. Yes, it's gone through for one behind 1 point to McLeod.
He's had a consistent day, McLellan. He's battled hard in the ruck. It's hard for a big man on a day like today. Chipping it to himself there was Grubb, I believe.
They've brought the
goes as far as Adams.
Yeah.
So Adams handballs off to Andrew. Andrew kicks out to the pocket. He's got Barnett for Greensboro, who just ran straight underneath that. And umpire calling back Travis White on the mark. Barnett throws it on the boot. Back in the direction of Long, Shaw and Crawford. Shaw wins it over, finds Martin. Here we go. Here's the man lurking around goals. He's kicked a few last week. Shaw looking for a bit of candy off the side there with the handball. Looking for O'Brien. Couldn't get his hands on it. Coming through and over the back there was a Greensboro player. Handballed it out to Barnett. He got his hands on it. Martin, great mark there. Throwing himself against the big man.
He's had a good day.
McLellan from Greensboro. Martin has played very well there, Walshy.
Yeah. He's had a great. He tumbles the ball up to just forward of the centre half forward position for McLeod. There's a kick forward by McLeod, but I don't know who. But in the van there is a Greensboro defender who's done very well. He
Wilson, he's had plenty of it all day, Walshy.
Mr. Wilson. So Mr. Wilson gets it out in front of the scoreboard there. Players going in hard. Things are desperate here. And eventually there is a free kick awarded to Greensboro. The parochial crowd is extremely happy about that. And the free kick goes to Greensboro deep in the back pocket.
Got a few queuing up out this side, but they choose not to. They kick it to the side they love the most. Fisted forward was by Brad Leggett there. Ball's won by Greensboro in the end of it. It's 1-on-1. Hurley versus Cunningham. Hurley gets a fist to the ball, goes over the top. Sievers for McLeod. Handballs to Martin, back to Sievers. Little bit of 1-2 there, waxing with the best of mates, and it just goes as far as Barnett. He's picked up a couple again. He just bombs it back into Cunningham direction. Can't get his hands on the ball. Sievers again for McLeod. Another bit of kick to kick, and it just goes as far as Josh Riddle for Greensboro.
Josh Riddle's got the ball. He brings it down to half forward. He's spotted up Steeds. Steeds running loose at half forward. He plays on. He goes this way. He goes that way. He kicks for goal. It's going close, close, close. Now there's a mark taken very close to goal by the Greensboro player.
Hang on.
Umpire's going to put him on a very acute angle here. We're just waiting for the man to turn around so we can pick up his number. And he's had the opportunity here to now. It'll be number. His number's all obscured. It could be 33.
It's Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Cunningham. He's promoted
The man I'm
promoted
not
the
to
number.
call Richie. Don't call him Richie. It's Cunningham. He comes in. Car horns are tooting, trying to put him off for on or something. It's a shot for goal. Cunningham's very happy about it. His teammates very happy about it, and the umpire's happy. So it's another goal to Greensborough. They go further ahead, and the scoreboard ticks along to lead.
9-5-58 to. That is, I think this guy can't do his maths here, is it? 6:10:36 it should be.
54.
So it's 9-5-59 to 6:10:46. He can't add up. But anyway, that's right. Mickey was calling for holding the ball. Cunningham there gave a bit to the McLeod crowd down at the end of the ground. So it is Cracker back in it. Look at Melican. Throws a little barrel on the boot. Goes as far as Schmidt. Ducks. Weaves. Handballs out. It is Andrew one-on-one there with Foster. Neither of them can mark it. Melican running around rampant in these muddy conditions. A bit better than the surfing he does in Byron Bay. And it is Greensborough leading by 13 points.
Okay. As Martin gets the tap away for McLeod on this occasion, they work the ball forward, but only as far as Greensborough, a defender there who defends over to the pine tree side of the ground. It's Greensborough in possession now. They're lifting and they're getting on top. They're smelling victory here at War Memorial Park. Oh, both players on both sides are going in hard there as the umpire calls for another ball up.
So three-quarter time, Whittlesea 2-2-14, Heidelberg 7-6-48, and Eltham 1 goal 5-11, trailing Bundoora 8-7-55. That's just a couple of a quick around the ground scores thanks to Bendigo Bank, East Ivanhoe and Heidelberg.
Players going in hard there. The umpire calls for another ball up. Very close to the centre of the ground here at War Memorial Park. McLeod really got the job in front of them now. They'll need...
They need three straight kicks. Walshy to get it. Steed handballs back to Schmidt. Throws it on the boot. Goes as far as Richie Andrew, the younger brother and father of the year for McLeod. Kicks it back towards the McLeod direction. Great mark there taken by Henkel. The young fella from the reserves got promoted for this side of the back. Straight over the back of the pack. Yarwood soccers off the ground. And it's just dribbled through for a point. So it is back to a 12-point ball game by my calculations. We'll see if the scoreboard blokes got it right. Yeah. Anyway, if so, it is only 2 goals in it, and there's 14 minutes ticking over here. So Drew Wilson for Greensborough is going to be the one bringing it back into play, and it just goes as far as Travis White for McLeod. Within scoring distance, looking for Martin. Couldn't mark it, and it's going to be thrown up about 25 metres out from the McLeod goal.
Just 2 straight kicks in it now. Ball being thrown in the air here. Host of players around the pack here. Comes down to ground level. No one can get control of the ball, though everyone's trying to. The umpire's called for another ball up. Okay. From the ball up comes the ground level. We cannot see who's got it, but it's close to the boundary line. Schmidt was it? Or
and that was Steed.
Steed defended there deep into defence for Greensborough.
Riddle.
He's a good player, that
Severs.
Josh Riddle.
Oh, look at that. Great throwing himself at the contest there by McQuilkin. And couple more love taps there going each other's way. Players just wanting to know that their presence is felt out on the ground here. Even if they haven't touched the ball, they still like to give each other a pat on the bum. So the ball gets thrown back up again, and we've just ticked over 15 minutes. You wouldn't think there'd be too much longer gone, being the only there's only been about 4 scoring shots this quarter. Richie Andrew gets it off to his brother in John. Back to Shaw for McLeod. Kicks it forward. Bounces over the top. Well picked up there by Steed. Weaving round, and he snapped it over in the direction of Riddle. But it falls back to Melican. Kick smothered. Player throws himself in there for Greensborough. Gets a clearing handball out. That was Parks for Greensborough. Snapped around the corner by Painter. O'Brien can't mark it. Core throwing himself at the ball. Has been no, that was Travis White again. So he's won a free kick there for holding the man. Kicks it to the fat side. He's got Core.
Core has taken a mark. Lovely mark, Lee. 25 metres out from goal.
It's a great mark by Core, great play by Travis White. Kicked it to the hot spot, and Cahill Core just come in and took a beautiful mark out in front. Got the W happening. Didn't use the chest, just used those big, strong jukes of his, and that has faded, and he hasn't even troubled the scoreboard. That's gone out on the full. So the margin still, look, we're saying it's 12 or 13 points. It just depends what day the scoreboard operator decides to get it right, hey?
Okay, just waiting for the ball to be retrieved from the
That's
crowd.
how long we've been going. Can you
And
see
we're
that?
17 minutes and 5 and 6 and 7 seconds into the last quarter here as Greensboro bring the ball back into play with a tumbling punt. It's a nice big punt here. They get the ball to half-back. Players going in hard there. It's shocking conditions. Guess whose mum will need Omo after this? Every player's mum will need Omo. It's shocking. Okay, it's a nice tap out there by Long, but it's going nowhere in particular. Long's in trying his heart out there in there for McLeod. So's Ryan Harris. He gets a scrambled left foot kick up. Another 10 metres. Ball's defended beautifully by Greensboro out of the danger spot. They get it out and over in front of their coach's box. A further soccer along the ground. It's very close to the boundary line there. Players going in hard, and eventually there is a free kick.
Severs has won it there. Severs, it was 1-on-1 against Jordan. Handball's off to O'Brien, kicks in the core direction, can't get his hands on it. Hinkle tries to get the boot to ball, no avail. Yarwood turns around, couldn't get boot to ball again, and it's going to be thrown up here. It's about 25 metres out from McLeod, and you think this might just be the last roll of the dice. They need to get a goal here to be in with a shot. Free kick has been pulled out here, and it's going the way of Greensboro. That looks like the other big man in Jamie Cracker for the what I don't even know what Greensboro's emblem is aside from GFC. They don't have some sort of animal like the McLeod Kangaroos. Anyway, back here that was Barnett. Back to Cracker. Wilson here got about 5 metres. Takes a little step round Bianchin. Goes as far as Gunn, couldn't pick it up. Malikan gives a don't argue, fresh air kick. Nelly holding the ball there. Andrew, handball's off to Core. He's got Bianchin here. There is Barnett again throwing himself at the ball. Painter, very, very clean today, and he's done a lot of that, getting boot to ball very, very quickly. Ball is the cry as they hear, and it's one there by Steed, I think, and he goes as far as Jordan, who soccers it out to the wing. There's another soccer off the ground there by Steed. Had a little bit of it again.
The grub man got in there and got a kick off the ground. It was intercepted by McLeod. Now there's a free kick going to Greensboro. Just forward of centre here. Big fella there might be Cracker. He's going to go long. He's taking his time, and he tumbles the ball down to a dangerous spot about 20 metres out from goal. We've got the man, the Conlon, the fire hydrant man's in there first of the ball, but he's all wrapped up, and umpire's called for another ball up.
There you go, Scotty Barnett played in the McLeod Junior Premiership.
Scotty Barnett.
So time on has officially kicked in as we bounce over the 20-minute mark. Painter again in there and amongst it for Greensboro. Parks for McLeod. Gunn. Handball's out there to Rogers. Chips over. He'd be looking for Cunningham. Fisted away there by Shaw. I tell you what, he's nearly just been about best on ground for McLeod today. Martin. And he's kicked that out on the full. And there we go. It hits my nice set of wheels, my Maserati. And I'll tell you what, this is nearly looking within scoring distance for McLeod here, Greensboro here, sorry, and it's going to be Terry, the man that played in a McLeod Junior Premiership, Scott Barnett, who's probably going to end up with the ball about 40 metres out.
The ball's been retrieved from the nearby houses. It's just making its way back into the War Memorial Park and goes back into the hands of, is the man Barnett, is it? He's done
It's Barnett. I only said his name 3 times. We were just talking about him playing for McLeod Juniors.
Yeah,
look at that, he's kicked it in, and a great mark there. Just ran into open space was Cracker. He's going to line up, and you think this would just be about icing on the cake as we tick over the 21.5 minute mark of this final term here at War Memorial Park in Greensborough. So here he comes. Jamie Cracker puts the icing on the cake, lays down the candles, lights them up and blows them out as they go out to a 3-goal lead here. It is 10-5-65 to 6 goals, 12-48. Not sure about the mathematical skills here on the scoreboard operator. Good on the person for helping out though.
Okay, as the ball's back in the centre, Greensborough got a tight hold on this game now. Long in the ruck there, and Cracker, the man that got the last goal, comes to ground level, and the umpire calls for another ball up. Okay, so it looks like could be a comfortable win to Greensborough here at War Memorial Park. They've got on top here slowly as the game has progressed, and particularly in the last quarter here. Both sides have gone in hard today. O'Brien goes in hard there, and first for McLeod. There's a kick off the ground by Yardwood that gets the ball 10 metres further along, intercepted by Greensborough there. They get the ball down.
There we go. I'll just get a nice muddy touch on my hand. Do you want that, Walshy?
Well, Lee Molan gets a nice touch here and ends up
and you know what? This is going to put Greensborough ahead of McLeod on the ladder this win. If they can get up, they're going to sneak up to 7th. So 7th position was on the line, and Greensborough have won it today. There's Cracker. Kicks in the Riddle and Shaw direction. Shaw, big left hand fist forward. Clark for Greensborough can't get a clearing kick. Harris, nice fresh air, picks up his own crumbs. There's a beautiful barrel straight over the boundary line in front of the McLeod coaching area. And I think that might just belong about here.
Yeah, okay, there's mud everywhere here today, and slosh and you name it. Ball being about to come back into play here. Okay, it's Cracker and Long going at it there. Long's battled manfully in the ruck on his own today, he's had some help from O'Brien on occasion, but basically done 90% of the rucking here for McLeod. There's a change happening here. We've got Ryan Harris coming off and Woodham's coming on.
So 24 minutes gone. Woodham's third man up, big fist straight over the boundary line.
Yep.
McLeod skipper Shaw there talking, still shouting out words of support for his teammates here. They're hoping they can somehow get back into this game. Long and Cracker at it. Malikan gets boot to ball, looking for Core, fisted over the back there by Greensborough player in Anderson. It's kicked out there to Forster. There's the siren, and it is Greensborough 10-5-65. Beat McLeod 6-12-48. And they take home the Derek Shaw Cup today, and they also rise one position on the ladder, and that's it.
That's all over.
They were 17 points up.
See ya. I just realised your game tonight's at Etihad, so of course you'll be warm.
I hope so. If not, I'm just going to bloody watch it from the bar inside, yeah.
Ground smarty.